Hey everybody, Befron here, and today we'll be talking about some Dragonshield card sleeves. Let's jump in. Alright, so as mentioned in the intro, today we'll be talking about some Dragonshield card sleeves, which you see right here. This video is not sponsored by Dragonshield. Please sponsor me. But I just wanted to give an honest review of these sleeves, some of the different sleeves, colors, textures, and types of sleeves that you can get from Dragonshield. So when you spend your money on Dragonshield, you know you're getting the best product that fits your needs. Dragonshield sleeves are a bit expensive, so again, I think it's important that you know how each of the different types of sleeves work and feel, and then you can spend your money as wisely as possible. Quick public service announcement before we continue to the rest of the video. If you're watching this right now, there's only a 1% chance that you're actually subscribed to this channel, so please help me to change that, increase my subscription rates, hit that bell button and that subscribe button below, hit the like button, help me grow this channel so I can keep providing great Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh! And even product review content to you all. Anyway, thanks in advance for your support, and let's jump into the rest of the video. Alright, so as you can see here, we have 3 different types of sleeves from Dragonshield. We have 2 of the classic sleeves, 1 matte sleeve, and 1 of the dual matte sleeves. So over here on the left, I just happen to own 2 colors of these. These are the classic sleeves. Again, just the color is different. The actual sleeve and texture is the same. Basically, the classic sleeves are all glossy on the back. You can see clear reflections of my ring light cameras right here. And then on the front, they are perfectly see-through, as you can see with this image right here. So you open them via the top, you can see the front and the back, both nice and glossy. In the middle, we have the matte sleeves, which are a little bit roughed on the back. You can see the reflections are a little less clear of the lights. Again, just depending on what kind of look you like. Do you like the highly reflective backs or the more matte finish that you see here? And the important thing to note is that still though, the front is nice and glossy. So the front where your picture of your card is going to pass through, you can still see it's very glossy and reflective. It'll show a nice, bright, clear picture of your card. And the final sleeve I have right here is what's called the dual matte sleeve. This is in the nice lightning yellow color, and the dual matte part of this means that they are black on the front. So again, whatever color you pick will be on the back. It'll be on this nice matte finish. So again, not very reflective on the back. And in the front, still a reflective, clear sleeve, but it'll have a black background to it. So the sleeve is, you can see the back of the sleeve is black on the front and yellow on the back. So overall, should be a quick video, but I did want to give you a chance to compare these for yourselves. If I were starting out right now, I would personally go with either the matte sleeve or the dual matte sleeves. You know, as far as Dragonshield goes, all of their sleeves are highly protective. All these sleeves feel plenty thick, plenty high quality enough. I haven't really had any problems with them, but I have to say, as far as appearance of the cards, as far as shuffle feel goes of some of these cards, definitely the classic sleeves have performed the least well. So I have some examples right here. I have 2 cards in the classic sleeves, again, the ivory and the navy blue. And you can see I've played both of these decks probably less than 10 times, and I've always played on a nice soft play mat. So again, I'm not playing on a hard surface. And you can see there is clear sign of scratching on the glossy surface. So as I go over this, you can see all these lines in the card. Again, they're not lines on the card, they're just scratches on the surface of the sleeve. Same thing over here. It's already lost its glossy finish. You can see where it's even just rubbed against other cards, rubbed against the playmat, things like that. And same thing on the back. There's clear signs of scratching. You can see, you can start to see the outline of the card where it's, more scuffed along the edges of where that card lies in the sleeve. But yeah, the back clearly has signs of, friction and scraping like that. And again, this is only after about 10 plays. I guess this ivory one has held up a little bit better. It's definitely less scratched, but it has all the same scratching on the front. So that's one thing that, I'm not too thrilled with the classic sleeves on. I would be careful of that before getting these. Unless you really like the color on the back, I would stick to the matte sleeves. So again, the matte sleeves for me have held up a lot better. The back of the sleeves show wear a lot less easily because, again, because it's less glossy. If there are little scratches, it doesn't show up as much on this kind of, you know, textured back like this. Again, I have an example. This is another Commander deck I have. This is also played about 10 times, and you can see on the back, I don't see any evidence whatsoever of, you know, wear or scratching. Even like around the edge of the card, there's no like raised edge. And on the front, even though in theory you'd think the front would be the same because it's the same glossy finish, even the front of these sleeves seems to hold up a lot better. I don't see the extensive scratching like I did on the classic sleeves. So much better overall. I just think these, you know, look nicer on the back, and clearly they hold up a lot better too. So highly recommend these sleeves. I don't want you to think that, you know, I don't like these sleeves and so I don't like all of Dragonshield products. I think this matte product is an awesome, awesome product. Very happy with it. I'm definitely going to get more of these, so very happy with these overall. And then finally we have the dual matte sleeves, and again, the really only difference is that the background of these are black, and these do look really nice for Magic the Gathering, which of course for most Magic the Gathering cards do have black borders, as you can see right here. So the border kind of blends right into the background of the card. Again, just like with the matte sleeves, I highly, highly like these. I actually just got these. I've not played these in a deck yet, so I have yet to see like how this surface is going to hold up. Again, I expect the back to hold up really nicely because, again, even if it does scuff a little bit, it's a lot harder to see that scuffing on you know, a matte finish back like this. So overall, I think these look really nice. The yellow is nice and poppy. You know, the front, again, I like how that background blends into the border of the Magic card. Overall, very happy. As I continue using Dragonshield sleeves, I'm definitely going to get more of the dual matte and more of the matte sleeves. Again, super happy with all of the sleeves that Dragonshield makes as far as protection goes. Again, I have no problem, no worries about my cards getting scratched when I use these sleeves. So, you know, again, if you like the color, go ahead and get them. But I would not recommend these because of the issues they have around scratching and just overall look and feel as they get used. These two, highly recommend. I think the colors look really nice, and the actual quality and durability of the sleeve is really good. Just as another quick little comparison between these two, you can see the dual matte sleeves are just a lot more opaque on the back. This is especially important for these lighter colors like yellow, like some of your maybe light pinks or light greens, pastel colors, because some of those colors are so light that you'll be able to actually see the back of the card through the coloring. So it's important for, especially for tournament events, that you cannot see the back of the card, because if your back of your card has any markings or creases or you know, little whitening on the edges, and somebody can see through that too easily, you could be accused of cheating. It's pretty unlikely, but again, it is possible. It has happened. You can even see here red, which is, you know, just a darker color than yellow. You can kind of see some of the back of the Magic card. You can certainly see the black border. You can even see some of the little like dots that are in the corner for those who are not too familiar with Magic, right? You're seeing these little specks come through right here. So you can definitely see red is, of course, a lot darker than yellow, so it doesn't come through too much. You probably wouldn't be able to see any real features of the card if there were, like, again, a little scuffs or whitening. But again, you know, on a lighter color like yellow, if it didn't have that black back, you might be able to see some, you know, little chips or whitening or scuffs or marks around the edge of the card, which could be considered marking. So that's my review of Dragonshield sleeves. So real quick before we go, I'm just gonna grab a couple decks so you can see the shuffle feel of each of these sleeves. So first up, we have my draw deck with one of the new commanders from Capenna, or relatively new, I should say. This uses the ivory sleeves, the classic sleeves, and I wanted to show you a quick example of the shuffle feel. You know, another thing about having that glossy finish is they tend to, like, these sleeves definitely stick together quite a bit. They are definitely hard to bulk shuffle like this. Like you can see, I really have to squeeze to get these to shuffle, even to the point where I'm a little afraid of like one of the cards bending over first before they kind of get in. So I usually, when I do shuffle, let me move these sleeves over, I do usually have to use like a hard surface to like push them in, which again, I really don't like applying that much force. So this is another reason why these classic sleeves do not work too well for me. Maybe it works better for like a 60 card deck, but for a commander deck where I double sleeve, these things definitely like stick. It is hard to push these sleeves together. I have to give it like a few like taps to let it like breathe in and out and open up a little bit. So definitely I'm a little worried about like having to apply so much pressure that I accidentally like bend some of the cards, which is not good. So again, just another reason I would not recommend these classic sleeves as compared to some of the matte sleeves. So here I have my Prosper Tome-Bound deck, which is the uses, of course, the matte sleeves. And so this deck I find a lot easier to shuffle. I'll turn this around, give it a few overhand shuffles, and you can see the cards fall into place a little bit nicer. There is, like, it's still not perfect, and just 100 cards is a lot to shuffle, but definitely these fall into place a lot more nicely. If I put these down on the table, you can see that like even the amount of pressure I apply is a lot less. So, you know, if I take a little sample of these cards and I can push them in and they open up a lot more nicely. Still takes a couple pats to get them to kind of settle in like that. And just that last inch or so maybe gets a little bit tight. Again, I double sleeve my cards, which doesn't make it any easier, but these sleeves definitely like open up a lot more. I think the roughness on this lets more air get between them, so that way they, you know, breathe, I guess you'd say, a little bit more nicely. And then finally, the lightning yellow sleeves, the dual matte sleeves that I have right here. This deck, like I said, I just got these sleeves for a new deck, so I have not gotten to play with this. This is supposed to be a commander deck, but it's only about 60 cards at this point. Still waiting on some cards to come in. And again, these, just like the dual matte sleeve, have a lot easier shuffle feel. And again, this is going to look a lot easier also because this is just 60 cards. But again, these are definitely like, they breathe a lot more, they take in more air, and so you're not going to have that resistance like you did with the classic. I actually think these dual matte sleeves are a little easier to shuffle even than the matte, even though, like, again, the textures and stuff on the front and the back are the same. There's something about these, I don't know if they're just a little bit lighter or a little bit thinner, that helps them to shuffle a lot easier. So I think these have absolutely the best. If I had to pick anything, I would probably always go with dual matte at this point, just feeling this deck. The matte sleeves, again, are really good. And then the classic sleeves, like I said, I'd probably stay away from those for the time being. Just they are not as nice to shuffle as the matte and dual matte sleeves. One other thing to note, there are a few other types of sleeves that Dragonshield makes and or has made. They do make a non-glare sleeve. So non-glare, specifically in the Dragonshield lingo, refers to the front of the sleeve. So as opposed to matte or glossy, which refers to the back, non-glare refers to the front of the sleeve. And that would be more of like a matte finish, like you can see I have on this sleeve here, this ETB sleeve. Again, it's not a shiny finish on front. It kind of dulls the image, but it gives a more like consistent image that's less prone to scratching. So this is an example of a matte sleeve. Again, this is not a Dragonshield sleeve. This is just an Elite Trainer Box sleeve, but I believe Dragonshield discontinued their non-glare sleeves. From what I see on their website, I don't see any more available. And if I go onto Amazon to look for their non-glare sleeves, they are super expensive, which is usually a pretty good indicator that they're out of print and people really want to get them before they're all gone. Anyway, this has been a review of Dragonshield card sleeves. If you like what you see, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, let me know in the comments down below, what is your favorite type of Dragonshield sleeves, and are you planning on picking up any of the ones we saw today? Anyway, thanks again for watching, and I hope to see you next time.